Hi, everyone. Today I am giving you a brief overview and tour of All the World's Primates, a reference database run by Primate Conservation Inc., which is a nonprofit group spearheaded by Noel Rowe and Mark Myers. This database was actually born out of an encyclopedia about primates. In the 2000s, the creators realized that there needed to be a living document that researchers could reference given the increase in um, taxonomy and new species that were being found, as well as species that were becoming extinct. So they created this database. I picked this because my aunt loves chimps, and I was initially tickled by the title. So I figured why not look into something that is completely out of my wheelhouse. Audiences for this database are primarily going to be students, researchers, particularly in the animal, plant sciences, zoological studies, etc. But there are some suggestions on this website that make me think if you were going on a trip to South Africa, that you could use this to figure out what primates you would see there. So that's pretty neat too. And I will point out that there is a publicly available website that does feature some information that is available only on this um, database that our access to at Rutgers is limited to 20 people at a time, which is um, an odd number, but it makes sense because I don't know if a lot of people would be coming to this database regularly. So, just a little tour. This is the homepage that you'll see if you come to All the World's Primates. This is a neat little feature that if you hover over any of the tiles, if you just want to browse through, you can see the common name and the scientific name. But again, you can also click this next button and browse through. If you notice to the left, there's a menu of filters or clusters that can be expanded. Well, there we go. It can be expanded. And you can click the genus, or like I said, if someone were, say, going on a trip, um, they could figure out what primates they would see in, say, India. So if you select India, here are all the different primates that exist in that region. So you can also search by taxa, which is going to bring up your Latin and common names. So if you know, for instance, you want to look at gorillas, you can just simply type gorilla and it's going to bring up the various kinds, which I love that there's a gorilla named Gorilla, Gorilla, Gorilla. It's really great. Um, you can also, again, show all taxa, which is going to take you back to the homepage. So it's basically a refresh button. Now, at the top, there's a menu which will have information, an introduction to the database, which is a forward by Jane Goodall, which is actually a forward to the encyclopedia book companion. Then there's information on the different taxonomies. And then there's another tab giving more information. What's a primate? What are the differences between bush babies, lorises, lemurs, etc. Then there's also a tab called Primate Action. And if you click on that, that is um, almost like a blog of recent stories about concerning primates. So you can see this isn't um, super relevant. Sorry, not relevant. uh Recent, excuse me. But I think that's because there are other zoological animal science resources that students and researchers would probably go to if they were looking for more information. You'll also see that the database does not have a thesaurus, but it does have a glossary, and there are only, as you can see, 5 languages offered. But um, again, this is run by a nonprofit, so everything that's done on this is. is run through Primate Conservation Inc. So you can go through the glossary if you would like to. Then there's also a what's new section, which is not news about primates, rather, it's information about the database, which is good to know. Um, there are also there's also a tab for links and downloads, which is going to be downloads that you can have of the sound, the audio or videos. And then there's also a contact us tab. And again, I want to emphasize, because All the World's Primates is a nonprofit, and they point this out here as well. Um, their response time is not as fast as some other databases. I noticed, and we'll go through this. I noticed that there was a an error with their search option, which I'll go through in a minute. And so I emailed them on Monday, and I have yet to hear anything back from them. So I'm not sure if the problem has been fixed yet. We'll see together. Um, but I have not gotten an email back, so it makes me think that probably not. Um, but the data mine tab is how you search if you're not browsing. Um, if I were to enter, and this is where they're having issues, I believe. If I were to enter gorilla and hit search, it should be able to pull things up. However, they're having technical issues at the moment, so it's not working. But the text search should allow you to search for terms within articles, glossary, forums, site instructions, other documents. But as of right now, it's not. The database search is also an option, but it's, you know, still under development, which is kind of problematic considering that their other search isn't working. But it, um, but it's not the easiest search function in the world. Um, so, you know, I think there could be some updating to this website, but as of right now, these two search options are not great, which is kind of the drawback. So I just wanted to point out that this About tab also has information on how to use the site, and background about it as well, which is how I found the information to share this video. Um, and then there's also, since again this is a nonprofit, I this is the how the database works page. But at the very bottom, they do have a call to donate. Since this is a nonprofit, um, any memberships, donations will help support study programs, grants, and will help protect primates that are endangered. And we're very close to losing a lot of them. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tour, and I hope it was informative.